Hello fellow coffee botherers, in this video I'm going to be talking about the Baratza Forté, Baratza's flagship grinder. If you're interested in this grinder and have been confused with the smart dose feature, by the way, keep watching for an explainer. I'll be reviewing all of the other Baratza grinders on this channel, so subscribe and allow notifications to see them. So this is the Baratza Forté, Baratza's flagship grinder. It's just over £900 in the UK, so we're not talking entry level here. This is a flat burr grinder. It comes with 54mm flat burrs. This is sold in two versions in the US, the AP all-purpose and the BG brew grind. They both come with Ditting burrs, so we're talking serious quality burrs. Ditting produce some very high quality commercial grinders and very high quality expensive burrs. The AP comes with the ceramic burrs and the BG comes with stainless steel. I say in the US because in the UK, at the moment at least, I'm not sure if this is set to change, there's just one version and it comes with both sets of burrs. So you have the choice of using it as the AP or the BG by choosing which burrs you use. Baratza have a grinder comparison chart, which I'll link to in the description, in which they give each grinder a star rating out of 5 for espresso and brew. They rate the BG version with the steel burrs as 4 stars for espresso and 5 for brew, and the AP version with the ceramic burrs as 5 stars for espresso and 4 for brew. This does beg the question, why did they call the version with the ceramic burrs the AP? Surely EG would have been better. Brew grind with the steel burrs, espresso grind with the ceramic burrs. Anyway, the Forté has a total of 260 grind settings, 10 macro and 26 micro. Grind speeds are rated at about 2 to just under 4 seconds per gram, depending on grind size. There are 2 grinding modes, grind by weight and grind by time, but it's important to note that the Forté will only work in grind by weight mode with the grounds container. It won't grind by weight with the portafilter cradle in place. However, this shouldn't be an issue for anyone who's thinking of using this for espresso, because there's a feature called Smart Dose, which enables you to grind by weight using the grinds container and then convert this into time and save it as one of your presets. If you have a slightly older model without the new updated display, all you do is use the grinds container and grind by weight in order to get dialed in. And once you're happy with the grind size, grind one more dose into the grinds container, then immediately press the time button and then press and hold any of the 3 preset dose buttons, and the chosen button will be set at the time it took you to grind your dose. Then you can just put the portafilter cradle on and grind by time using that button, and you should get within half a gram of your target weight. I mentioned at the start of the video that there was some confusion with the Smart Dose feature. The first confusion is that if you're reading the Baratza website, you may be under the impression that it grinds by weight for espresso. It does, but only via the Smart Dose feature. And the other confusion about the Smart Dose feature is that they've just updated the firmware and they haven't updated the Smart Dose instructions, but that must have changed because it doesn't appear to be working. In the meantime, you can still do the same thing manually. Just time the grind while you're in grind by time mode using your scales or your phone or Big Ben, and then set one of the dose presets to this time. I'll add a pinned comment once I've heard from them with the smart dosing instructions for the new firmware. Having said that, many people are preferring to not dose portafilters directly these days anyway, so if that's you, I've just wasted about 2 minutes of your time. You're welcome. First impressions of the Forté are really good. It looks stunning in my humble opinion. I love the brushed stainless steel look. It's much smaller than I thought it would be, more or less the same size as the Eureka Mignon, slightly smaller than the Settes. It's fairly solid though, weighs about 6 kilos. I reckon I could bench it as long as Ollie and Wes spot me.
Affirmative.
I love the lights. I know small things please small minds, but to me it just looks really cool. I've had a play with the Forté. I've not used it enough to give an in-depth review, but it's really impressed me so far. I've had some really nice shots while using this. I need to try it with different espresso machines and other brew methods, but one thing I can say that I'm really sold on already is this micro and macro grind adjustment. You'll find this on the Sette 270 and 270WI2, and although it might seem slightly more complex than simply having a stepless wheel adjustment, it's actually really simple to use. And the main benefit is that you can record specific grind settings with different coffee beans. There's a much closer starting point if you go back to that bean. For example, I was dialed in with the Gadget Reale for the Coffee Works Choc and Nut Columbia, and that's my coffee, so yes, that's a shameless plug, at 2K. So I created a note on my phone, I really should stop writing on my phone, that this was a grind size for this coffee. Not that when I open another bag of this same coffee I expect the grind to be exactly the same, as espresso isn't quite that simple, but at least it'll put me much closer when it comes to dialing in that bean when I'm using it in the future. I'm really impressed with the grind by weight feature too, as I've been testing that with the Akai Luna. It's really accurate, so that's impressive. As I said earlier, if you choose to dose directly into your portafilter, the grind by weight feature won't work. That did confuse me a bit at first, but it's not a big deal. It just means dialing in using the grinds container and then converting the weight to time, which will be very simple to do using the smart dose feature once Baratza have told us how to do it. It's really quite quick, even when grinding for espresso, and looking at the grinds consistency at both sides of the spectrum, it looks very good where particle distribution is concerned. I'll be doing more videos with the Forté, including reviewing it with specific espresso machines. For example, I'm told by someone who really knows her stuff that the Forté with ceramic burrs is one of the best possible pairings for the Sage or Breville dual boiler, so I'll be doing that video and more very soon. So there you go, the Baratza Forté. Australia is wider than the moon, and that has nothing to do with clicking the like button, but click the like button to make the toilet flush backwards. Thank you very much for watching, and if you love coffee and enjoyed this video, we've got tons of content about how to make better coffee at home and to take you from beginner to home barista. And we've got reviews and how-tos on the most popular machines. If you like the sound of that, click on my face to subscribe. Tatty Bye!